This video is made for an adult audience. Hey Brick fans, welcome back to the Brick Bakery, where all our jokes are half baked. I'm Jacob and today it's time to finish off my Lego train station. This is part 4 of my ongoing series on how I built a Lego train station that's based on the old 4554 metro station from the 1990s. Today I'll be finishing off this and I'll be doing some detailing at the end. So let's get to building. There was a lot of different suggestions for what I could do now regarding detailing on the inside and also what details I could put on the platform right behind here, and I enjoyed all of them. There was so many, so I'm not going to mention each and every one of the suggestions, but I did like many of them. There was a suggestion about the clock, or actually several people suggested something about this clock, as it is a little small, and there was a suggestion to put it down here or put in a bigger clock. Now I do think the idea of a bigger clock is good, but I don't have one. I'll have to look into getting one. However, I do think this is proportional. I think people mentioned that the minifigs would have a hard time actually seeing the clock from down here when they're walking around. So my idea was to maybe put in a binocular salesman stand so he could sell the minifigures binoculars so they can actually see what time it is. That would be kind of my solution. But before I get into that, I will be looking at the platform back here. And I'll also be looking into the details inside here. There was a suggestion to put in, or actually several people again suggested that I put in a newsstand somewhere in the railroad station, but one did suggest that I might put in, if I didn't have room for a newsstand as such, I might put in just sort of a vending machine with newspapers in it. I did initially have an idea of adding this one out in front of the station, this little newsstand here, because I do think it looks good, and I think newsstands are relevant for a station like this. So I'm not sure I'll put any inside the station as such, but I think I'll be adding this on the outside at the end of this build. So that's the way I'll take care of that, I think. Very early on, I also mentioned that I might want to put in some kind of graffiti here. Now I have noticed that there's this tiny eye right here. That's not on purpose. I didn't realize this was a printed piece. But Pro Lego Channel actually suggested, or actually he made a great design for me that I could put in on this wall and sort of have a minifigure standing around here like he is painting the thing. And I think that's great. First of all though, I think I'll be looking into an interior for the ticket office. The first thing I built is this right here. This is the screen for which the ticket sales people will stand behind and sell the customers their tickets. Now this is based, well, at first I was inspired by something similar from the Brick Bank, but this is something completely different. This is much more based on my memory of going to a ticket office when I was younger, where there was this glass pane in front and there would be a small crack down here where you can hand the people money and they can hand you the ticket. And sometimes there would be this weird sort of turn dial style thing where they could turn the money around and you would get your ticket and you couldn't touch your money. Very weird thing going on, but here's just a small crack, and there would also be a speaker microphone thing where you could almost hear what the person on the other side was saying. It would be all distorted and crackled, and it would be very hard to get anything meaningful through to them. So sometimes you would order a ticket for, I don't know, Copenhagen, and you'll get one for Billund or Legoland or something like that. But it was all good. So that's what this is inspired by. And yeah, I'll put this in the ticket office and also add some ticket sales people. I've come up with a couple of ticket sales people in a sufficiently 90s, late 80s style, and of course a wonderful grunge 90s haircut for this dude right here. And of course, one of them needs some money, because he's just received payment for a ticket which is of course exactly 100 studs. So here's the detailed tickets office. It's of course a bit difficult to see, and it will be once this is done, but that's just how it is. There's of course a small guy, looking very round-headed, who's waiting for his ticket. There's also some kind of traveler coming here, and he's probably looking for a ticket as well. So yeah, that's the ticket office, and I think I'll go to work on the platform and all the detailing out there. There was a comment on one of my earlier videos about this train station that I should add some length to the platform so there would be room for more than just 2 cars, and I agree fully. So I've made these 2 small extensions, one here and one here. This is just a copy of what's going on down here, and of course I've added some of these masonry bricks on the back so it'll match the foundation of the train station, which you can see right here. Boom. So we've got this to match. You can see it over here. There we go. Very good. I have an idea that I will use these molded pieces at the end of the platform like this. I've got to add something beneath, of course, but I think this sort of industrial look is very good for this platform. I'm imagining that this platform is a newer addition, or at least has been renovated very recently, relative to the building or the main station, which I find to be sort of a Victorian building or something like that. So this should have a newer, more sort of industrial look, I think, and these will accomplish that very well. I've been working a bit with this little roof part here, or roofed part of the platform, and I really wanted the red accent color to be presented here, because I think that's something you would do sort of in a modern rebuild or a modern addition to something like this. And I've also designed a small roof. This isn't completely finished, but I think it evokes the original roof or the other roof enough for this little platform roof right here. So at this point I am thinking about whether or not I should continue the roof all the way over. One of the problems being that there's this little overhanging part right here, which is needed to make the windows indented, and there's also this, which hangs pretty low and gives it some limitations in adding a roof. So I'm actually thinking I'll settle for these as a kind of small sheds that people can go into. Then I'm thinking I will tile this right here and maybe make a pattern on the edge of the platform to sort of make a safe area or security zone, a zone which you should avoid when the train is entering the station. Maybe some black and yellow in some degree would look good there. Yeah, so that's the plan I'm going with at this point. I've now tiled up the entire platform. I ended up using black and red as sort of the warning or safety edge, which you shouldn't cross. If there's not a train, you can move on. You might be wondering why there are blue and red tiles going down this middle of the platform, but that's because where I'm from, there's usually letters designating particular parts of the platform. So you can stand in, for example, section D or section C, depending on which train card you're getting on, which will be sort of, that'll be on your ticket, what card you're getting on. So for this train station, instead of having lettered parts of the platform, there's colored parts of the platform. So if you're getting on card 1, you should go to the red zone, and if you're getting on card 2, you should get to the blue zone, so on and so forth. I think that's a neat little detail, and I think it makes some sense actually. Of course, this will look much busier once I've added in some minifigs to stand around and do all the minifigging stuff. But I still need to work on the interior of the pizza restaurant, and of course the front of the build also needs a bit of work still. And of course I also need to put in that mural or graffiti right over here. So yeah, there's still plenty of stuff to do, and I will get on with it. I've designed this little part of the kitchen. This is a counter where they can sell their slices of pizza. There's a sneeze guard to avoid those nasty coronaviruses, and a small calculator credit card thing where you can pay with all your stud money. Of course, I've got a couple of chefs as well. These are both from the Lego House restaurant, so they all fit nicely. I think I got to add a pizza oven proper in there, and of course some chairs and a table for patrons to sit and eat. But other than that, I think I'll go light on the detailing, interior detailing, because I don't think anybody is gonna see this ever, but some detail in there is good. Maybe someday I'll add lights in some way, shape or form, and then detailing inside will be sort of, you know, necessary. But for now, I think I'll stick to this, some chairs and a table, and of course a pizza oven and the 2 chefs. There we go, that's the pizza oven made. It opens up, of course, and is therefore functional. Well, in a Lego sense, it's functional. This will go into the pizza place, and of course the counter will as well. I've got a couple of chairs here. I've just got to design a table and maybe a couple of patrons standing around in there to get their food. I've designed this small table right here, red and white tablecloth and a piece of pizza on a single round brick, and of course a couple of tables to go in there as well. I've added in some minifigs for the platform to liven up the place just a bit. There's a shady fig coming out of the door right here. He doesn't have a ticket. I wonder why. And this dude right here does seem to have a ticket. There's a security guard. And then there's some random dude right here waiting for a train. I don't know. Maybe he's on the wrong platform. I don't know. And over here, I've got several other figures. Small guy right here with a skateboard. A figure trying to buy a piece of pizza. He's carrying a ticket. A figure which is quite ready for a long travel with a heavy rucksack or backpack, and some guy waiting for the train. He's probably picking somebody up. Pro Lego Channel sent me this design right here. This design is based on a piece of wallpaper that was in my house when I started renovating it. The original had a green background, but the other part of it is actually pretty accurate. And yeah, I like this. This is going to be graffiti at the end, one of the ends of my train station, and I think it'll look good. I'm not sure I'll copy it 100%, but I will be pretty close. So thank you to Pro Lego Channel, and I'll see what I can do with this. This wasn't nearly as hard as I thought it would be. However, this is a level of technique that's way beyond anything I would have come up with myself. So thanks a lot to Pro Lego Channel. There's really some nice ideas in here for how to build this. There's a clever use of technique bricks and snot bricks like this, you see, which means that everything can be attached. So nothing falls off once everything has been pressed together like this. But as it is with these things, they are a little more fragile than when you just put bricks on top of each other. But I do like this, and I can't wait to put this at the end of my train station and have a wonderful little painting going on there. With a little work, I got the graffiti where I wanted it to be. I'm gonna put a couple of minifigures here with some spray cans, so it looks like they're just about to finish up this graffiti. And I like this look. I think it's fun. It's a fun little detail to have here, and yeah, it really adds a lot to this. Of course, there's a lot of detail missing still here in the front, some tiling and such, and I'm gonna work on that. At this point, I might not finish everything up in this video, and if I need more detailing, I'm probably gonna do it off screen, but yeah, I'm gonna do a bit of work down here. Detailing is just about done. I may change some things you know, when I get this into the city, and maybe there's something that makes sense, and maybe you want to change something just because you want to change something. But other than that, I think this is pretty much what it's gonna be. I've added some flowers out here in front because I thought that looked good. I've also added, of course, some of these pedestrians. This guy looks like he's in a hurry to get to the train. Of course, a postman at the mailbox, and some of these classic bushes right here. And of course, on this side over here, there's a couple of dudes hanging out here with their spray cans. It looks like they've just gotten done doing this graffiti here, and I like that. I think that's a neat little detail, and they're hiding in the bushes, and that's cool. I really enjoyed working on this train station. I think it's the biggest mock I've ever done. At least I think it contains the most bricks that I've ever used in one single building. So that was exciting. I'm looking forward to working on different mocks and new stuff for my Lego city. But this one I consider done. If you do have some kind of suggestions, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to hear it. But that's all for me today. I hope you'll comment, like, and subscribe, and I hope I'll see you folks next time.